Now, if you are on YouTube looking for reviews of gear, you get the sense that in order for it to be good, it also has to be expensive. But I'm here to tell you, in 2025, there's still quite a few gems at a very reasonable price. How reasonable? How about $20? So today we're going to cover my A-list. 10 items, 10-ish items, under or around $20 that have been really awesome. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we kick things off, let me say that you will be able to find these and everything else that I've discovered under $20 in a master list below. Now, this master list not only includes items up to 20, but also up to 30. And that's because those tend to vary drastically in price, and sometimes things will be available and be under $20, and sometimes they'll be higher in the 30 range. And I want you to be able to compare all of them at the same time. So with that, let's start with my very first item. Now, when we covered items in and around $10, there weren't any watches worth considering, but it completely changes once you go up only 10. You have access to some of the highest value options possible, but only really one company stands head and shoulders above the rest, and that's Casio. There were so many models to pick from in this list. I mean, which one would you even go for? You let me know down in the comments which one you would pick. But for this video, I decided to talk about a watch that I haven't really given enough time, and that is the 219H. So I'll put a listing up so you can see, but these come in so many different variations. I really like the orange plastic band and black combo. I like the all black with the negative display. There are so many different variations. It has a really decent backlight that actually works very well in the dark. It has some basic functions, and this particular model is designed to create a lot of protection for the screen. So you're less likely to scratch it, which I really appreciate. And this is just a kick around watch that will work for a really, really long time. Also, even though this says 50 meters, I don't think there are many times when you're ever going to cause this thing to fail. I've even heard of divers who go way below 50 meters that still use these cheap Casio watches just to see what happens, and they still hold up. They are just absurdly durable and well built. And I think that as long as you end up with a Casio under 20, you simply can't go wrong. Next, we're going to talk about multi-tools. Now, I just made a video about this, in fact. There are almost no multi-tools under 20 that I can think of that compete with this. This is the Workpro Multitool. I have a separate video on this. Actually, I have two videos on this. It has spring-loaded pliers, which work very, very well. It has some excellent internal tools, can opener, bottle opener combo, flathead, scissors. The scissors cut very well. We have a large and small Phillips, which is really nicely tucked in, allowing it to maintain that three-dimensional nature of the Phillips. I love that. Everything locks, by the way. We also have a flathead and pull cutter, which in and of itself is quite useful. And then on the outside, we have a 7CR17 main blade, which also has a liner lock. We have a serrated blade on the opposite side, which has a liner lock as well. All of these are going to lock in place. Then we have a diamond file, which you don't really find often at this price point, and I like quite a bit. And then, of course, we have a saw, a very aggressive, a very long tooth saw. So really, really well formed. I don't know if there's anything that competes directly with this tool. As far as a stocking stuffer, something you might lose, the fact that they have 3 different color variations, of which I like all 3. It comes with both a sheath and it has a pocket clip. You're not going to beat the Workpro at $20. I've tried, I can't. I've even looked into some of the options people have suggested. None of them have come even close. I can highly recommend it. If you're looking for that backup, you're looking for that glove compartment tool, a first-time tool for someone who doesn't normally carry a multi-tool, it's just a really decent budget option. All right, now everyone had to know this was coming. This came out and immediately sold out. This is the new Workpro 4.5 inch, looks like 4.25 inch adjustable pipe wrench. This has got some interesting features that make it very similar to the 100mm from Knipex, but also it looks and has a button similar to the 125mm Cobra. In my opinion, this is one of the best clones we have found out there, and at around $16, I can't recommend it enough. I actually wish that Knipex would include a little lanyard attachment like the Workpro did, because that would be even better. Now, the grip, the quality control is a little bit better on the Knipex. If you're going to spend the money, it might be worth it. But for 16 bucks, if you want to try it, if you think you might be losing them, which would be devastating, I'd hate to want to lose something that I spent, $30 on. This is a great option. And there are two different variations. There's this one here, which is kind of plated and probably going to be a little bit more corrosion resistant. Or you can go with the black variation, which has better grip and would probably make more sense if you're not working in a corrosive environment like on a boat or otherwise. Great, great, great tool. And I love that we now have more pocket options that enhance our EDC. Check this out. You're going to love it. Now, there are a lot of flashlights that I could recommend under 20. There's the Wubin G5, there's the i3T2, there's tons of different flashlights. But for this particular video, I decided to stick with two of them. The Acebeam Pokelit is going to be our first stop. And this is just an all-around flashlight that I could recommend to everyone. You can go to almost any store around the world and find a AA battery. So this is going to be compatible with the most common disposable battery that you can find. It also is going to have included with it a Type-C rechargeable battery. So you will be able to get the maximum performance out of this flashlight, and you'll be able to charge it on the go. That is included along with a charging cable, spare O-rings, and this flashlight with the high CRI variation, which I'll find it right here, can reach up to 550 lumens. It has 3 modes, and you have mode memory, meaning it will come back in on whatever mode that you had last, okay? Very simple, very easy to use, great reversible clip that has really, really nice spring tension, not as likely to break. It even has an opening so that you can attach a lanyard if you prefer doing that. There's not much more to say. This has been reviewed ad nauseum at this point. There's also a variation that has 1,000 lumens. I think it's in the gray color, and that is going to be a cool white. So it's a different emitter, but is also just as good. Both are going to be great. Cannot recommend them enough. Now, the Klarus E5 Plus. This one really shocked me. When I got it, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. It is incredibly thin. It has a Type-C charging port, which I really, really enjoy. Get that out there so you can see. And it has a front light and a side light, and actually 3 different options. So from the front light, if I hold press, I get the front, and then I can cycle through the 2 different outputs, turn that off by hold pressing. Hold press again to get the side light, and once again, we have different modes here. Yeah, 3 modes on the side. Now turn it off again. I'm trying to remember this on the fly. And then double press gives us red light, which is a really cool option. And then you also get flashing red if you want to do that as well. So just a really, really great flashlight. There are tons of great flashlights under $20. And as I find those hidden gems, I'll continue to add to the master list. When it comes to maintaining your gear and you don't want to spend too much, I think Worksharp makes some of the best possible options out there. This is a guided sharpener that you can take with you almost anywhere. It has a diamond side as well as a ceramic hone, and this is going to get the job done most of the time. At around $15, it's hard to go wrong. So you can hold it and actually sharpen with it in your hand, and these are actually guides to give you an exact angle measurement, which is true on both. Very cool. And it's just a really simple, easy solution for maintaining your gear on the go. I don't think I have to say much more. These have been covered ad nauseum. It's really important to note that unlike so many less expensive brands, they really take pride in making sure that the grit on their diamond plates is even and consistent. So you get the same grit across the entire plate. Cannot recommend these guys enough. They are always making fantastic value products. Now we're going to talk about folding knives. There's a lot of options in this category as well, under $20. Now, I thought about the slip joint that I found from Sanranmu. I really like this design, but it's not for everyone. And I've already covered the 9201 from SRM as well. Today, we're going to talk instead about this because there's an opportunity to get this in both a sub $20 variation and a sub $30 variation that's pretty exciting. So this has got G10 handle scales, a D2 blade on bearings, liner lock with great action. It is right hand only, so just keep that in mind. So a nice small knife that's very good. But I wanted to bring up this model because you can get this for 20 or this for less than 30 with a titanium frame lock. It is the same D2 blade. Basically, it's just a little bit different, a little bit more premium. These are fantastic. I can highly recommend them as long as you are right-handed. There are going to be great options for those who are southpaw, like these two. This actually has a really cool flip around clip, but you can't go wrong with any of them. There will be more than this down in the master list. Let me know if I've missed any and I'll check those out as well. A lot of people out there are huge fans of the Lamy Safari. And look, the fanfare is warranted. It's a great company and they make a sub $20 fountain pen. But I will tell you my personal experience, I don't like them. All right. For some reason, they don't write as well for me and they dry out really quickly. Instead, what I have found is this little hidden gem. This is the Hongdian M2. And I have really, really enjoyed using a fountain pen from time to time because it kind of slows me down. See, if I go too fast, it really doesn't want to write. And I like the fact that it actually forces me to think a little bit clearer about what I am doing. It's just a different writing experience. And I find that this does not dry out as fast. When I checked it after sitting for 3 or 4 months, it had still 3/4 of the liquid inside, so I really like that. And you could improve it further by simply adding an O-ring right here if you wanted to. It screws in and stays pretty well sealed. It has an excellent pocket clip. And as a compact fountain pen for less than $20, you're going to be hard-pressed to improve on this. It comes in a variety of different colors, and it comes in a variety of different tip thicknesses. So if you like to have a wider pattern, you can do that. I like the fine tip personally, or the extra fine, but you go with what you want. But check these out. You might be surprised. I've given them to tons of family members. They've loved them, and I'm constantly refilling their pens because they use them so much. So definitely check it out. I think you'll like it. Now, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I started working with Nextool on a couple of different projects, and one of those was this. This is their bladeless version of their Mini Sailor. So they call it the Mini Sailor Lite. I will put a link down in the description. But this is a fantastic tool. Around that $20 price point, it gives you a relatively large plier for the size, and it's bladeless, right? So it's easy to take into places that are non-permissive. It's something that would technically be TSA legal, but you know how that goes. It has a flathead, 2-dimensional Phillips, SIM card extraction tool, a little split lanyard as well. And you have a pair of scissors on the outside with a little glow area right there to find it a little bit easier on your keys. It's simple, it's easy, it's less than or around that $20 price point. These are great. And if you lose them, it's not the end of the world. It's annoying, but it's still a great option because companies like Gerber discontinued the dime travel, Leatherman discontinued the Style PS, and this is one of the few options we have besides the Jet Setter from Victorinox. And I think it's a really good one to know about and something to consider for a variety of different people. Maybe you have a child who would like to have their own little tool, and you don't have to worry as much because it comes with only what they really need. And then if you want to spend some time developing some skills with a knife, you can do that separately. So check this out. I think you might like it quite a bit. All right, so I'm going to cheat a little bit on the 10 items. I'm going to include a few more. I couldn't help myself. I had to kind of at least talk about them. There are a number of decent fixed blades that you can find under $20. They're going to be in the master list. We're only really going to talk about one, but I also wanted to indicate that there are a variety of American-made clips that allow you to carry in pocket, such as this from Discreet Carry Concepts. And those are available on Amazon, as are the Alti clip, which are fantastic as well. Absolutely excellent clips. Now let me put this one aside for now. That is also a sub $20 fixed blade that is easy to carry. But the one that most people don't realize is actually carryable in pocket is this from BPS. Now this is a true woodscraft fixed blade, right? It's got a smallish handle, smallish blade. It's very, very comfortable in hand. It's got a 90-degree spine, Scandi grind, 1066 carbon steel, nice leather sheath, and it's around, give or take, around $21 right now with the coupon code. The problem is when you see these little holes, it's like, okay, how am I supposed to attach it? And I think a lot of people struggled with the concept or how to do it. And when I thought about using an Alti clip, and it turned out it worked so well, I have consistently carried this when I want to go into the woods and do a little whittling, because it's just one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had with a fixed blade knife. And because it's buried so deeply into the sheath, this does not dig into your hip or any area when you're sitting either. This is a fantastic combination, and I cannot recommend it enough. So definitely check out this fixed blade and some of the others that I've included. You'll be surprised. Now, I didn't cover belt knives. We'd be here all day, and we'd mostly be talking about Mora. But as far as pocket fixed blades are concerned, there are a few hidden gems out there that you want to be made aware of, and this is one of them. Now, I have to make a confession. I'm a bit obsessed with credit card shaped tools. I don't know why. I recognize that most of them are more gadgety than they are functional, but I really enjoy them. Not all of them, however, are made the same. Some are useful and some are not. And one of the good ones out there is the Levergear card wallet money clip. This can range in price. So without the clip, it's around $17, and with it, it's about $22. I would highly recommend you get it with the clip, because the way they have designed it, it's actually made out of proper spring steel, which is very important. A lot of these cheap ones don't have that. And the other thing that you find is common with cheap card tools is that they're not made of a steel that's heat treated, and they bend easy, and they can't, you know, they don't hold, and they're not really very functional. This, on the other hand, has been properly heat treated, so it has rigidity to it. It has a can opener. Yeah, it actually works. It has a flathead, small flathead, Phillips driver, and the thing I use the most, which is the pry tool. So it's a great way to incorporate a pry tool in your system, and a bottle opener right there. Now, what's cool about this money clip, not only does it work really well with cards, let me sit some cards in there real quick, it also holds cash really well. And notice that it's a little bit shorter than the cards. It allows you to fan them and select the one you want. Let's say I want this card, use the card, and then I can fan it again, select the spot I want, and stick it back in. The thing that this does well, that's not immediately apparent, and I want to point out, is it lets you turn any slot that is vertical in nature into a place where you can create a money clip. So it adds a money clip to a wallet you might already have. So know that. It's a really, really cool thing to have. And also, this is technically TSA legal as well. I've never had an issue with it, and it's just a really cool option. Definitely worth checking out. Now, my philosophy on wallets might be a little bit different. I think you should spend some time finding the right thing that gives you joy, functions properly, and just is probably a little bit higher quality than your run-of-the-mill sub $20 wallet. There is, however, a few exceptions, and this is one of them. I actually tested this for a video, and I continued to carry it for a long time because it was just so well done. This is a notebook wallet. So it has the ability to carry a pen and cards and cash and a notebook. Now it comes like this for around $17. It's made of TPU. It is basically a waterproof wallet. It is very, very tough and durable. And I have really enjoyed carrying it. I would usually use an Aviator B3, which is also around a $20 pen. And I would include a Write in the Rain notebook, which this was basically designed for. And when you're done, you can use the elastic strap to hold everything together. This is a really, really, really cool design. If you like carrying a notebook in addition to your cards, and you don't have that many to carry, this is great. You can also stick cards in here that's not immediately apparent. They don't recommend it, but you can take cards and actually slot them in there, tuck in behind that corner, and they will not come out. So if you have like maybe an ID or something that you don't want to use regularly, you can store more than 3 cards. You can actually probably get 2 of each in here if they're not embossed. So it's a great option. And for less than 20, you're going to be hard pressed to find anything better. And here is most of what we've talked about today. 10-ish items that are under or around that $20 price point that are absolutely awesome. If you think I've missed one, and I probably have missed quite a few, let me know down in the comments. I'm always on the lookout for that hidden gem, and I'm sure you guys know even better than I do. As always, thank you for your time, and we'll talk again soon.